Hello, and welcome to Appleton Engaged. I'm your host, Timber Smith, DEI coordinator for the city of Appleton. And Appleton Engaged is a podcast that explores the many people, organizations, and resources that make our community a great place to live, work, and play. So whether you're a longtime resident or just getting to know Appleton, join us as we learn more about our community together. How are we doing out there, Appleton Engaged listeners? As you can tell, I am rolling solo. Big shout out to my partner in crime and co-host, Andy Anam. She had to go do some other things, but she will be back with us next episode. So let me just say, I am really excited about today's conversation and resource because it's something that I hear in so many conversations when we're talking about those things that our community needs. This is such a highlighted topic right now because it affects all of us in so many ways. So this week's guest is Lesa Alston, Child Care Certifier and Pre-Licensing Technician Consultant for Child Care Resource and Referral. Hey, Lesa.
Hey, how's it going?
How is it going? It's going good.
It is. It's going well. Thank you.
All right. You ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Can you please tell us a little something about yourself and your association with Appleton and the Fox Cities region?
Well, you might be able to notice that I'm not originally from the area. So my husband works for a company that builds a lot of the instrumentation for paper mills, and he was coming up this area a lot when our babies were little, and we finally just said, if you like it so well, why don't you just move there? Because he was always coming back from his trip saying how friendly the people were and what a beautiful area it is, and hey, they get snow. So that was fun for us coming from Kentucky, and so we moved up here, and I'm a fine arts person by nature, and he'd tell me about the PAC and all the wonderful shows and things that were around and the different venues and things. And of course, I got all excited about that and looked into the schools. And then I found a job up here and told him, well, guess what, honey? We're moving to Appleton. So we've raised our children here and have just loved being part of the community and being able to engage with our different community members and all the different fantastic organizations, and the nonprofits in this area are outstanding. It's been a real honor and a privilege to be able to spend this part of my life here in the Appleton area.
Well, Lesa, we're happy to have you.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Can you please share about your resource at this time?
Oh, absolutely. So Child Care Resource and Referral, we've often referred to it as one of the biggest kept secrets in the Fox Valley for years. We're working on 40 years here of service in the Fox Valley. And so one of the things that we do is that we give referrals for families looking for childcare. We do give our referrals for those programs that are regulated, so they have to be certified or licensed. But here recently, I've also started a program that assists people who don't want to be regulated. They just want to do childcare. They just want to help out their community members. And so I've been trying to reach out to them to help them and give them supports. And like you mentioned before, this is not one of those situations where it just helps a certain demographic of people. All families that have children have a need for childcare, and they have a need for quality early childhood experiences.
Yes.
So our whole mission at CCR&R is to improve the quality and accessibility of early childhood education and care. So anything that we can do to work toward that mission and that goal is something that's going to improve the life of families. It's going to improve the life of the providers. And you know what? Most importantly, it's going to improve the life and the outcomes for those children. So all of the supports that we have from all of our nonprofit partners that we work with, we're all geared toward helping families and children and connecting them with resources that they need. So as I mentioned, with our mission there, it's to help everybody. It's to help providers, it's to help families, and it's to help children. So we will give those referrals out to families who are looking for regulated childcare. And then, so all they would have to do, if you're a family in that situation, we do this for free. And you can access it online 24/7, completely free of charge.
So let me ask real quick. When you say regulated child care,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly are you referring to?
Okay. So the state of Wisconsin requires anybody who is doing childcare for 4 or more children under the age of 7 to actually have a childcare license. If you don't and you're providing care for those 4 or more children under 7, that's actually illegal childcare. So we want to help support that provider and help that provider become licensed to do that. So that would be a regulated childcare environment. There is a voluntary form of regulation called certification. And so that's something else that I offer our 5 of our 8 counties that we serve. And then, so with certification, you can have up to 3 non-related children under the age of 7 plus 3 more 7 and over for a maximum group size of 6. And you know what? That certified provider is eligible to receive all of the benefits that a licensed home provider who could serve 8 children under the age of 7 would be identical. The training is very similar. There are some differences in the regulation. Both types of regulation can accept Wisconsin Shares benefits for those families who may qualify for Wisconsin Shares, the subsidy program that helps pay for the cost of care to help make it more affordable. You can participate in and get reimbursements for the food program. You can collect the child care counts money. I have certified providers right now telling me that they are able to have enough money coming in as a certified provider to offset the cost of a nice vehicle.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, while that's not a program that's going to go on for a long time, just because they choose to be voluntarily regulated, they put themselves in a position where they can get that stipend from the government, from the state.
Okay. So let's go to the other side of that, the unregulated, because you said you assist both.
Yeah, absolutely. I love working with my unregulated providers too, because our big thing is we want to support you in providing a quality early childhood education. If you go back to our mission statement, to improve the quality and accessibility of early childhood education and care, nowhere in that mission statement does it says you have to be a regulated provider. And the state allows us to do child care for up to 3 non-related children. Why are those children being left out of the possibility of being able to benefit from all of the different options that we have available? They could come and use our library. We can give them training. There are just so many things that we can do. A lot of people look at the early childhood world and they say, oh, it's just babysitting. And that could not be further from the truth. 90% of what a child learns, they learn in the first 5 years of life. That's when that child is being prepared for school.
Facts.
That is the time when this child is learning to tie their shoe and put their coats on and zip their pants and wipe their butt and all this fun stuff, that we need to know how to do as we go to school.
This is true.
So it's just one of those things that, another thing is that just popped in my head here, I wanted to be sure to share, is that these child care providers are working long hours for these families. And so many times these children, whether they're regulated or in regulated programs or not, these children are spending the majority of their waking, malleable hours with somebody other than their own parents. They are learning values. They are learning morals. They are learning what's important. They are learning about where am I in relation to other people's development? Can I do this? Am I going to get mad because he has my toy? Well, some of that's developmentally appropriate, right? So if we're able to reach out to these unregulated providers and share this information with them, let us help you with that child who's biting. Let us help you with getting a substitute. We have grants now in various different counties that can actually relieve a home or even a group child care center with an approved substitute by the state that is fully qualified, that's experienced, that can walk in and give your staff member a break.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Who knew about that?
Right. Let me tell you, it's something we've been working on so many of these things for years and years and years. And many years ago, we did have a substitute program, but because we're a nonprofit agency and everything kind of ebbs and flows,
Right.
with what providers and families need. There got to be a point where that substitute level wasn't really needed anymore.
Hmm.
And so now here we've come back around full circle, and programs have group childcare programs, for example, have availability within their site to offer more childcare slots, but they have to close these classrooms because they don't have qualified staff.
Mm.
It's huge. We also have funding right now through our grant operations to provide free foundational trainings.
What do those look like?
Well, right now they are online classes, and you can take them from any of the approved training agencies. Ours out of the Kimberly office right now, we're able to grant these for free for Outagamie and Calumet County residents. I think we're working on some. We just had a grant that ended for Winnebago County providers. We're working on trying to get more funding in for that. I got a call today from an agency who is trying to look at helping us out with that. So we're really hopeful that that's going to come through shortly, be able to get that back in. But essentially, this is an online training platform. You do it when it works for you. You do not have to go show up at a class at a certain time and figure out if you have childcare for yourself, right? So you can do this. You can spend an hour and a half on this while your kids are taking a nap.
Okay.
I mean, I could go on and on and on about this, but, just get in touch with us at CCR&R if you're even interested in this, or if you're a parent and you want to know what's developmentally appropriate for your child. What an awesome opportunity.
Well, it also sounds like a parent could reach out to you if they need help finding
Absolutely.
approved childcare.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, earlier you mentioned, I believe the number was 8 counties.
Yeah.
So what are those 8 counties?
Yeah, man. So I do certification and pre-licensing technical consultant for both family and group childcare startups in 5 of our 8 counties. So those 5 counties that I specifically work in are Waupaca, Outagamie, Winnebago, Calumet. I do 6 counties. Oops. And then Manitowoc County as well. So there are actually 6 different counties there that we work in. For that, I do the same for the pre-licensing in those counties. The other counties are Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and that would be 8. If I do 6, that would be 8. So, right.
Let's say someone's listening right now and they're saying, I want to get certified. How long does that take?
Well, that it depends on everybody. There are ways that I could get you certified within a couple of weeks. But I tend to want providers to complete the foundational training first so they don't have to worry about being on a timeline of having to get this done and that done and the other done. Because I could get you provisionally certified for a period of 6 months, but within that first 90 days, you have to meet all of the training requirements. And if you're working and you have children in care, why put additional stress on yourself if you don't have to? Let's get you regular certified, complete that foundational trainings first. I can still be working with you to get the application documents and the different things that you need to do, answer any questions that you might need for your home environment. When I come out to do your certification visit, I'm going to be bringing you this big gift bag full of stuff with, outlet covers and refrigerator locks and all these different kinds of things, a weather radio and curriculum development stuff and observational tools. I mean, there's just so much that we give back to our providers. And keep in mind, all of my services for childcare providers, both family and group, is completely free.
What? Did you say free?
It is. Again, my time is free based on the contracts that we have with the various counties. So the state works with us for me to offer the pre-licensing services. And then, so we just recently changed that this year. So now I can help support a group childcare provider however many hours they need to get them the services they need to run and operate a successful program. I can get them in touch with other organizations that can help them with other various things. Being sure that they have all the training, that they know what kind of staff they need. If they are going to be providing transportation, well, what are the rules around that? That is a huge need in and of itself, that many programs are not willing to take on that challenge because they're just focusing on what they need to at this time just to keep their license right?
Right.
So that's a way of growing your business and providing those additional services to those families. Another thing would be a second and third shift care. We in our area, and especially in the Calumet County area, we have businesses that operate on second and third shift, right? So there's no reason why I can't help somebody get certified in their home or licensed in their home to do care for the evening. We have group centers that can do evening care. So it just all depends on what does that community want? What does that community need? Who's the ones in power that say, hey, look, we've heard all of this from our constituents or those employers. I would love to offer a second shift line, but I can't hire people right now because they don't have childcare. I can work with that business to start their own childcare program. Those children can be on site.
All right.
Hey,
I want you to repeat that again.
Any employer that is curious about offering that as a benefit for their employees. It's so that in this day and time, it is so hard in every industry to find qualified staff. Now, all of a sudden, maybe you're a paper company and you're looking at wanting to add another shift, or you need to add, I don't know the terminology for all the different things. Might have to talk to my husband about that. These different roller things that they have, but they can't bring these people in because even though they're highly qualified, because they don't have care for their children. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but we do what we can to make that process easy for those employers. So they would reach out to us. We can say, hey, let's work on this and let's build this. And there are so many right ways of doing this. Even if you wanted to start small, let's repurpose this section of your building. Do you need to have a hand washing sink here? Well, that's not a terribly difficult thing to do. And let's make this work for you. Let's expand this. Let's see what we need to do to help you build your business. And we do that through the infrastructure of people. Our people are engaged in your business. They're engaged in the community. But they can't do all of this for the community if they don't get their personal needs met. And this meets every single socioeconomic level that we have in the United States.
I think it's amazing that we literally have a resource that will help a business literally put in childcare into their facility if needed.
Absolutely.
Like that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, the services through Child Care Resource and Referral are completely free.
That also is amazing.
Right? I know. It's pretty cool. I will say that we do offer childcare trainings for regulated childcare staff if they wanted to take those trainings, or even just, mom, dad, grandma, whoever wants to come in and take these trainings. They are usually offered for a small fee, but generally, like the process to become regulated, all of my services are available for free. Like we have a CPR training that we offer, $25. Where are you going to find a CPR training through a first responder who is local here in the Appleton area, offered for $25? And it meets all of the requirements for state licensing. So there are so many resources. It's like even if you took the fundamental trainings that we have, they're $40, and $120, I think, for the intro. But again, like I was saying, right now we have grant money that we can use to pay that for you as that prospective childcare provider. It's not going to cost you anything to get that training.
What are any myths or misunderstandings that you find people have right now about our child care situation?
Well, I'll try to avoid getting on my pedestal for that. And I will just say, so many people have the misunderstanding that childcare is just babysitting. Because like I said before, 90% of what this child learns during this period of life stays with them the rest of their entire life. People look at childcare teachers and see babysitter, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. That teacher in that classroom or that family provider in her classroom in her home or his home is guiding your child, is leading your child, is working cooperatively with you as the child's parent to help them learn skills that they're going to need the rest of their life. One of the other biggest myths that I see right now is we're seeing a trend of where families enroll their children in these child care provider programs expecting the child care program to raise their child, to teach their child everything they need to know. And while that is something that we certainly do, we are not that child's first teacher. That's your role as the parent. It's our role to support you, and we do that by offering this. We must work together for the benefit of your child. We must be sharing the same messages. Continuity of care is so important.
All right. Lesa, at this time, can you please share a story with the Appleton Engaged listeners that'll help them understand the importance of your resource?
Well, I kind of touched on this earlier. Childcare touches every family with children. If you have maybe you're a young married couple and you are looking for, or even an unmarried couple, and you're looking for childcare. And now all of a sudden you've got this great opportunity to go work at the hospital or go work for the police department or wherever, but you can't find anybody to watch your kid. And think about this. If you wouldn't want them watching your dog, do you want them watching your kid? Do we want puppy milling for kids? No. We want someone who is dedicated to the craft, who is dedicated to the art. You are putting your most precious resource in the hands of someone else. That child is with that child care provider more during their waking hours and their malleable hours than they are with their own family. So keep in mind, this is a story not just about childcare. This is a story about our human condition. We're all in this together. We need to stay engaged together with this, and we need to support our early childhood professionals.
Are there any upcoming initiatives, events, or engagement opportunities?
Holy cow. Yeah. So we at CCR&R, we're always doing stuff. So I would say the best way to find out what's going on now, whenever, is go to our website. It's ccrrfoxvalley.org. Click on the calendar, and it'll show different things that we have coming up. If it is training opportunities, if it is, we're going to be presenting at the farmers market. We did that in several different communities around here over the last few summers, and it's been wonderful to get that out there. We do the Kids Expo every year. We have a trick or treat coming up at the CCR&R office in Kimberly. We all decorate our doors and we welcome all the families and the kids in. And it is such a fun activity. It's safe, and the kids get to dress up. We get to dress up, yay. And, it's just so much fun to do these things. We provide parent cafes for families who we get around, we have dinner together. We talk about the struggles that we have as parents. And then we help facilitate these conversations together. We connect with resources around. We do that every once in a while. We have book clubs. We have director clubs. We have provider cafes that we offer free of charge as well. So there's always stuff going on at CCR&R. We also have a Lena project that we've been working on. It counts words and interactions between a child and their caregiver. Maybe you have a child that's not speaking well. Well, what kind of interactions are you having with them? This is a curriculum that helps us understand what that engagement is. How do we help and improve? We do tons of fall events. Well, it's like we've done the stuff for the Packers. We have the Tour of Centers coming up. We've done the Butterfly Festival. Tons and tons of different conferences. There's just, there's just always so much. Just go on our website, and that'll get you up to date with what we have coming up in the current situation.
Lesa, is there anything the community can do to be helpful?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We would not exist without the community. And as far as the community helping us, the community first and foremost needs to be aware of the safety of the children in our care. Everybody's care, our community's children. Let's look at it that way. So many people I have found to work with aren't aware that there's a state statute that says it's illegal to provide care for 4 or more children under the age of 7. While you have families struggling to find childcare, you've got this great provider who's doing care for 6 or 8 kids in her home or more, and she's doing a great job with it. But you know what? She didn't know it was illegal. Yeah. So, and part of the problem with that is, this is that provider I need to help. I need to reach out to this provider. I need to give this provider resources, and keep in mind it's all free, right? But this provider is doing this out of their love of children and out of their willingness to help their community. Those families are begging and crying on their shoulders because they need to find these childcare slots. They need to find someone to help them with their most precious assets. So being aware of who in your community could benefit from our services, it's not turning them into us, because we are not the daycare cops. Okay, we're the ones that are here to help you be legal. We're here to help support you in your childcare business, because whether you classify it as a business or not, the IRS does, whether you're regulated or not, So let us help you with this. Let us help you do this legally. We could bring you in as a certified provider if you wanted to do that. Help you get your childcare license if you want to do that. If you don't, then that's fine too. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. So as a community, be aware. And if you know of someone who's doing this, share that information with them. Let them know we are not the scary police when it comes to, and I'm not saying the police are scary. My brother was a detective. It's just that you just want to be sure that your children are in a safe environment. And the reason why Wisconsin has that as a state statute is that we have a history in the state of when you have an unregulated provider providing care for more than 4 or more unrelated to that provider, that's when you have more incidents of injuries occurring. So that statute is in place as a basic level of health and safety. That's all the licensing regs are. That's all the certification regs are. It's just a groundwork to help you ensure a health and safety environment for the children in care. So I would say every citizen needs to know this. They could be voluntarily certified for up to 6 kids. They can be licensed for up to 8. So it really just depends on what's going to work for them and the ages of their own children that they have in care. You could essentially have a provider who could legally provide certified care for 8 kids when she has 2 of her own kids who are 7 or over, and then maybe she has a couple or 3 kids related to her, and now all the rest of the kids are unrelated under 7. You see what I mean? So it doesn't really matter which form of regulation as long as you're doing it legally. I would say the other ask I would ask is for business leaders in our communities. Really, really, really consider providing the benefit of childcare for your employees. Your employee morale goes up. Your employee desire to work for you goes up. That benefit alone, where that provider knows, hey, I want to work for that company because they care about my family. They want to provide me with a first-class childcare program. I can relax and know my kid is safe. I have helped organizations like Toyota Motor Manufacturing in Kentucky with their childcare program when they got started. Granted, that was 30-some years ago, but we can do the same thing here. There's an organization in Brillion who got started, and they offered that for their childcare. They offer childcare for their employees, and it really makes a difference. And everybody can benefit from this. Hospitals could benefit from this. How many times do you have somebody call in sick because they have a sick child at home and nobody to keep them, right? So if as a community we can come together and say, hey, look, we need a quality early childhood program for our kids. That is the best preparation for when children go to school. It's not whether or not they know their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s and colors in 14 languages. They may pick all that up through early childhood experiences. But the work of early childhood is to prepare that child to be able to stand in line and ask questions and know how to resolve their personal conflicts without hurting other people. As a classroom teacher myself, if I may have 30 kids in my class, I may or may not have a para in there. As that classroom teacher, that first, second grade classroom, I need kids to know how to tie their shoes and zip their pants and all that other stuff.
Right.
Right? I need to be focusing on my standards. And it's different. People don't understand how important this early childhood period of life is. And we have been so blessed at Child Care Resource and Referral with being able to partner with so many great agencies, the United Way, the Women's Fund, just so many different places. And the counties are recognizing the importance of offering certification and partnering with us to provide that certification service for them. So, there's a lot of things. We have many volunteer opportunities. Again, like I said, we're a nonprofit agency. We're here to look for grants and to give back to the community.
Who can people contact if they'd like to learn more?
Well, anytime you can contact me. You can reach me by phone at 920-886-0428 if you are interested in becoming a child care provider, or I can get you to whoever else you need to get to too. If you are a parent looking for free child care referrals, you could call our main desk and they will be able to help you get you to a referral specialist. That phone number is 920-886-1121. You could always go on our website at www.ccrrfoxvalley.org and scroll down to the left-hand side and see a little button that's called for parents. Click on that, and you can get the average rates for child care in your area. You can fill out a free referral that way. You could do it all online. You don't even have to call us. So, but again, that's where you're going to find our training calendar. Contact us at any time. You could also go on our website and say, I'm interested in becoming a provider. Click on that. I'll get back in touch with you, so.
Is there any additional information you feel is important for the Appleton Engaged listeners to know that maybe we didn't ask a question about today?
Be an advocate for your child. Be an advocate for your child. With that, and I don't care if your provider is regulated or not, if you have your kid in a program and you're not happy with your child care, be your child's advocate. If you are a child care provider and you have a child or a family that you're struggling with, maybe you have a child who's biting, maybe you have a classroom management problem that you just can't figure out what's going on with this. We have specialists who can come out to your program and help you figure out what's going on. We can offer you business practices. It's all free, right? Contact us. Even if you don't know it's something that we can help you with, if we don't know the answer, we know people who do know the answer. Contact us. We can get you in touch with the United Way. We can get you in touch with First 5 Fox Valley. We can get you in touch with other advocacy programs. There's just so much that we can do to help, and that's all we're here for.
All right, Lesa, it is time for shout-outs. Who would you like to shout out?
Oh, my goodness, everybody. All of my child care providers, first and foremost, because we're not here without you. And I want to thank you as child care providers for doing the in the trenches work and being there for that child and holding that child when they're screaming because they're missing their mom or their dad. And, they're going to be fine. This is not easy work. And to thank you for what you've done, thank you sounds so little, but it really comes from the center of our heart. Obviously, all of the staff there at CCR&R and our executive director is Candy Hall, and she has stepped into this after our many years vision under Judy Olson, who started Child Care Resource Referral some nearly 40 years ago. And Candy's doing a wonderful job and is just really taken on things and has a vision for our organization. And so she's doing a great job with that. And so we're just all in this together, and I hope that you find us approachable. I hope that you're willing to call us, even if you want to just call us and talk about your kid. What's going on? What can we help you with? Can we get you in touch with our child car seat specialist? He can help you put that car seat in your car correctly. It's not the easiest thing to do. It may not be rocket science, but it takes a little science, you know?
It does. It really
doesn't
does.
it? And they're all a little different, you know. And so, but there is just so much that we can do to help. And just, you know, give us a call and come over and get to know us and come to our trick-or-treating event. And I think that's October 12th, if I'm not mistaken. But it's all on our website. You know, look for us, give us a call, and let us know what we can do to help and support you, because we're here for families. We're here for our child care providers, and we're here for all of the children.
All right. Lesa, thank you.
Thank you, Timber. I appreciate the opportunity.
At this time, Appleton Engaged listeners, we're going to start wrapping up this episode. I want to say thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for giving us your minds and your ears. Thank you for caring about another amazing resource in our community, making this a better place to be, or maybe a better place to work, stay, and play. You know, we are a work in progress. We are trying to become the #1 podcast in Northeast Wisconsin, and we need your help to do that. So that means let us know what we can do better. Are there better questions we should be asking? Let us know. Would you like to be a guest? Let us know. Would you like to recommend a guest? Let us know. Reach out to us at diversity@appleton.org. Once again, that is diversity@appleton.org. Also, we think we have something pretty special here with Appleton Engage, helping to make a more informed community, which makes us a better community, helping to create a place where we can all feel like we belong. But we need help with that too, because we think if more people were listening to this amazing resource known as the Appleton Engage podcast, it would help us build more community. So how can you help with that? Well, you're listening to us right now. Take a moment and give us a rank. Give us that 5 stars. If you've got a few more moments, actually fill out a review and let us know how we're doing. These things increase our analytics, and the better our analytics, the more eyes and ears get to learn about Appleton Engage, the podcast. At this time, we're going to finish this up, and I just want to say I really, really appreciate this conversation. I can't stress enough how often right now so many conversations about what does our community need center around childcare. And this seems like an amazing resource to reach out to figure out some of these childcare solutions. So I encourage you, reach out if you are in need of childcare, or maybe you're thinking into getting into childcare. We have just shared with you a great place to start that journey. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and stay engaged.